You're in the moment. Everything feels good. Then suddenly, you feel it coming. Way too fast. You try to hold back. But you can't. And it's over in seconds. And the thoughts start racing. Why does this keep happening? What's wrong with me? That's premature ejaculation. But here's something most men don't realize. Premature ejaculation isn't just about finishing too fast. There's actually a hidden cycle happening in the brain, where anxiety and physical sensation feed off each other, making it worse. And once you understand that cycle, you can start breaking it. So first, let's define it clearly. The International Society for Sexual Medicine defines premature ejaculation as ejaculation that happens within about 1 minute of penetration, combined with difficulty delaying it. It also causes distress or frustration. For men who develop it later in life, that time frame may extend to around 3 minutes. But here's an important question. Is timing the only thing that matters? Not really. What matters most is how it affects you. If it's affecting your confidence, your relationship, or your willingness to be intimate, then it's something worth understanding. And here's something that surprises most people. Premature ejaculation is actually the most common sexual issue men experience. Studies estimate it affects 20 to 30% of men. At some point in their lives, that's roughly 1 in 4 men. This means millions of men are affected. Quietly, dealing with these, often feeling like they're the only one, but they are not. You are not broken. And you are definitely not alone. So why does it happen? The first step is understanding that there are 2 different types. The first is lifelong premature ejaculation. This begins with a man's earliest sexual experiences, and tends to happen consistently. Research suggests this type may have biological or genetic roots. But many men develop something different. Acquired premature ejaculation. This means you once had control, but something changed. So what changes? Often it's things like performance anxiety, erectile difficulties, relationship tension, or underlying health issues. And interestingly, this is where psychology begins to play a huge role. Before we go further, we need to clear up a few damaging myths. Premature ejaculation is not a measure of your masculinity. It is not a personal failure, and it is not something you should be ashamed of. It's a medical and psychological condition. And like most conditions, it can be understood, managed, and treated. Another thing many men misunderstand is what normal actually looks like. Research shows the average time from penetration to ejaculation is between 4 and 8 minutes. For men in their 20s and 30s, the average is about 6.5 minutes. So here's a question worth asking. What if the issue isn't only timing, but the anxiety around timing? In some cases, men are actually within the normal range, but still feel intense pressure to last longer. And that pressure itself can create problems. So what happens psychologically? 3 mental patterns show up again and again. First, performance anxiety. The fear that you'll finish too fast. And ironically, that fear often speeds things up. In fact, in our previous video we explored performance anxiety in detail. And for many men, premature ejaculation and performance anxiety are closely connected. Second, hypervigilance. Instead of enjoying intimacy, you're constantly monitoring yourself. Every sensation, every movement. You're not present. You're observing. Third, negative thought patterns. I'm going to fail again. They'll be disappointed. These aren't just thoughts. They trigger a very real, physical stress response in the body. Which brings us to the biological side. Psychology is only half the story. Biology plays a role too. 3 physical factors can contribute. First, penile sensitivity. Some men naturally have more sensitive nerve endings. Second, brain chemistry. Chemicals like serotonin help regulate ejaculation timing. When levels are lower, climax can happen more quickly. Third, nerve signaling. The nerves involved in ejaculation may simply activate faster in some men. And when these biological factors combine with anxiety, something important happens. A cycle forms. Remember the hidden cycle we mentioned earlier? Here it is. Stage 1, early ejaculation happens once. Stage 2, fear develops. You begin worrying it will happen again. Stage 3, hypervigilance. You monitor yourself constantly during intimacy. Stage 4, reinforcement. The stress and monitoring speed up ejaculation again. And just like that, the cycle continues. But once you recognize the cycle, you can interrupt it. So how do you interrupt it? 3 techniques have strong evidence behind them. First, the start-stop method. Stimulate yourself until close to climax, then stop. Wait for the sensation to fade. Start again. This trains your body to recognize the point of no return. Second, the squeeze method. When close to climax, gently squeeze the head where it meets the shaft. Hold for 10 to 20 seconds. This reduces arousal and delays ejaculation. Third, pelvic floor training. Tighten for 3 seconds. Relax for 3 seconds. 10 reps, 3 times a day. Over time, this improves control. Daily habits matter. Exercise. Sleep. Stress management. Limit alcohol. Small shifts create meaningful change. When to seek help. 3 signs. No improvement after months of trying these techniques. It's affecting your relationship or mental health. Or unusual symptoms, pain or blood. A specialist can help. 3 things to remember. Premature ejaculation is treatable. It's a condition, not who you are. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Every small step moves you forward. I have created a free guide. 3 techniques to last longer. Download it and try one tonight. See what changes. Subscribe if this helped. Next week, erectile dysfunction, the psychology behind it. This is Body and Bond, where biology meets psychology, and where silence loses its power.